Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to make another pair of earrings using our Bargain Bead Box Midnight Skies. This one's going to be a little tricky because we're using the bars of the toggle clasps as the top part of our earring. Now I'm not going to tell you this is easy because it's not. I usually mess it up and have to cut it loose at least once or twice, and but it does work, and it really is going to be cute. So let's turn down and we'll talk about it some more. So what we have here is a couple of ear wires, a couple of small jump rings, the beads from the Bargain Bead Box, a 6-inch piece of 22 gauge wire, and two, I believe these are 4.5. Let me measure. Yes, two 4.5 inches of 18 gauge. And then we have our toggle pieces. This one has not been done, but I did do up this one so you can sort of see what we're going to do here. We'll turn her over so you can see this side. Oops, don't move it too much, Rose. More sturdy. Okay, so the first thing we have to do to make this is we'll slide this stuff to the side. We won't need it for a little while until we get this piece done. Okay, so we take our 22 gauge wire and we fold it in half, leaving a little bit of a opening up here towards the top. Then what we need to do is we're going to take this and put the wires through the hole here. Then we're going to bring these around, trying to keep our wires as straight as possible to each other. Come on, don't roll so much. And then we're going to bring them through this loop that's right here. Now we want to that over on this side like so. We're going to want to bring this down so it's way up here. Okay. And we want to get the loops of wire through that loop as much as we can go. So just keep working it until it gets over there. And you may have to straighten these little bumps up because, well, we don't want them in there, number one, and they're going to keep the wire from coming where we want it to. Okay, up and over. You need to be on this side. Actually, you don't. You need to be on this side because we need this to go through more. Okay. We want this to go through enough that our little circle here is just so it can go over to that side without being a problem. We want it to go through more. So it needs to keep coming. See if we got it small enough yet. Not well. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now that we've got that, you can see we pulled it through enough that when we brought our circle up, it went across this bar and then about halfway down over here. Now we're going to bring these wires back up. And now it appears to be loose again. And it will do that. I'm going to show you now the next step then to tighten that up is to bring this over here and then get hold of these wires and squish them down to where that where they come together right there over the loop. So squish them pretty good. Now we're pretty tight here. And our next step is to put our star on. We made sure we had the point up on this one, so let's do the same on this one. So we put our star on. Now, as you can see, this is a little tighter on this other one. I've got these bars pretty much closer together here. And that means I need to squish over here a bit more so that they are nice and tight. So, and it looks like it turned this a little bit, so we want to do that. Okay, now we do this just like we would any wrapped loop, except for we're using double wires. So we just put this on here. We want our loop to be going this way because we need a double, because we are not using two wires, we want to use a jump ring to bring our to put our ear wire on. So we need it to face the proper direction to use a jump ring. So now we want to use our smallest bell making plier, put that in the bend you just made, go over, let her drop, bring her over, and then we're going to wrap this right here above the star. Okay, so now let's compare and see if we've got about the same length. And it looks like we might. This one needs straightened quite a bit. So we're going to straighten this up. We'll see if we need to, let's see, do we need to bring our wires around anymore? Not even sure we can get them around anymore, but we'll give it a little bit of a try. But I think we're on top of the star now, and we are. So let's get it off there if we can, and if not, we'll just take that last loop out of our wrapped loop. And if you have to separate them, like I just did to get it into the star easier, the The one will wrap, the second one won't. It's too close. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one on this side of the star. And then we'll cut the other one on the other side of the star. And then we'll get these tucked in. Now this is looking a little wobbly. We don't want it wobbly, so we're going to tighten stuff up as much as we can here. And that means bringing our star down a little bit more if we can get it to come down. Bending this wire down in better. There, our star just came down, and I could have probably got that last loop in somewhat, but it's all right. But we're still a little loose. See how that's wobbling there? So let's take our pliers and we're going to work this little bit right here till we can get it more flat. Oop. Don't want to slip on there because it'll damage the wire. But we want that to be flatter against there. Don't know if you can see that. We're going to push those two down. Now we'll bring this up a little bit more, and we're going to squish down here some more. And even though it's still got a tiny wobble, it's not a bad one. So now we have our two top pieces. And we're done with getting that baby together. So then what we're going to do is put this up here and hook our ear wire on. But first, we're going to put our beads together here. So that's what this one is for now. And all of these are going to go on here, like this is going to be the center. Then we're going to have a star and a star. And we're going to have some English cuts. A star, another English cut, put your half over there. Sorry, another rondelle, not an English cut, and then another star. So that's going to go on this wire, and it's going to become a loop that goes over the top coming down this direction. It's going to be a hoop when we're done. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out our wire mandrel. If you don't have a wire mandrel, you can use anything that is round enough. So we're just going to come up like so around our base here. Though frankly, I think maybe we need to use the oval one and just use the bottom one here. So we're going to come up and around like so. Now I start these out usually on the round one because I think that they're easier than, the handle. Because I think it's easier than to get them in the right spot where I want them on the oval one then, because I've already got part of that bend already made. So then we'll just bring her all the way around here. And like there. Okie dokie. So now we have these two ovals. We'll see how much, if they match each other, all right? And it looks like the back one needs to bend a little more. Either that or the front one needs to bend a little less. Still, that one's going good, but this wire is up too far still, so we'll bring her down. See what we got now. There we go, they're pretty good. Now, before I string beads, what we're going to do is take these, and I'm going to get my block out. And we're going to give them a couple of thumps with the nylon jaw hammer to work harden them some. The next step is we're going to put the beads on. Just put these up here out of the way. And we will start with the little star, English cut, nope, rondelle, another star, English cut, star, rondelle. Come on, you go over there. Why is this one being so difficult? Come here, you. Oh, now you don't want to back off either, huh? Let's try the other one. Let's see if it goes a little better. Or we could just do it from the other side. Maybe that's what we'll do. Now this has become the middle. But this star is then going the wrong way, but that's all right. Easily fixed. Okay. Okay, the beads are on this one. Now we'll put them on the other one. And since that worked much better going from side to side, since we don't have anything closed up, we will do that on this one as well. Okay, let's get these to the center there. There we go. This one looks like it's open a little wider than that one, so we'll close it up some. That looks pretty good. Now the next step we're going to do is we're going to take our bell making pliers. Get one, we're going to use the smaller of the loops here. So we'll just bend this. I was thinking the smaller would be too small, but it looks like it's not going to be. So now that we've got those done, we do our bend, put our pliers right here at the loop, right where they touch, bend this way, and then we want them to bend up. I think that one's a little too much up. There we go. Now we'll do the same with this side. Put the pliers in, right where the loop ends, bend it so it's halfway like so, and then bend, take it up, and bend it up. Now we're going to bring these together somewhat, more than this anyway. Get down there, star. And we want them to come close to each other. So just bend them till they get a lot closer. Now, as you can see, now it's not going to slide onto that bar. So you need to open your loop like you would a jump ring. And slide it on, like so. Then you close it back up. Get out of the way, piece. Now that's not quite close, but I need to get it closed, so let's work it a little bit. Okay, now we do the same with the other side. Open it up like a jump ring, slide the bar into there, a little bit more, close her up. This one's a little crooked here. So let's see if we can straighten her up. There we go. Now there is how it's holding on. So here we go. One earring. Now we're going to put our ear wire on it and it will be done. Come on, little star, stay where you're supposed to be at. Jump ring through here, and then the ear wire, making sure you have this to the right direction because you don't want this to be in the front. And there we go. And what did I say about making sure you had that the right direction? I've got it the wrong direction. So let's open it back up and move it so that our ear wire is correct. There we go. Much better. So our little star is not here up at the top, is not cooperating very well. There we go. But there is our earring. So now that we have all our beads on, we're going to take the smallest of our bell makers, our double ones. This would be the second size on the stepped. We're going to roll the wire backwards. Now that we've got that like that, we're going to take our pliers, tuck them right in here, and bend. And then we're going to bend right at the same spot up. We're going to do this to the other side as well. Right in here, bend it over so it's like our lollipop shape if we were doing an eye pin. Take hold of it again right here and bend it up. Now I probably have both of these bent up a little bit too much, but that's all right. We want to get them close to each other like so. Now we'll straighten it to the way we want it, which is so they're sort of facing each other like so. Now we're going to take our piece here, and we're going to open our ends up just like we would a jump ring, and we're going to slide that onto there. Then we're going to close it right back up. Again, just like you would a jump ring. Well, you have to keep that on there though. Come on, pieces, go down. I don't want you in the way. So put our piece in here. Come on, baby, go in and close her up. She didn't close up quite right, but we'll worry about it after we get the second one on. So again, just like you open a jump ring, open her up, bring this piece in, loop her onto here, and close her back up. So now you can see it's not closed all the way, so let's get her back over here and on. And again with this side. This is also the time to straighten those loops up if they're a little crooked. That one's closed. Okay. Come on, you. Now, as we can see, our beads can roll around, but looks like this one needs a little bit of this one doesn't have quite as big of a bend, I don't think, so we'll bend it just a hair's breadth more. And I think we're good. So now we'll put our ear wire on, and our second earring will be done. This baby up through our loops here, which I think may be a little bit crooked. Make sure we're facing the front when we put the ear wire on, and close her up. And there we go, earring number 2. Come on, you don't get all twisted up there on yourself. Aren't those fun? I hope you enjoyed making those with me. Remember, when you're doing these top pieces, to be very careful. The 22 gauge will break if you get a little bit too, well, let's say fierce with it. But there is a way to use the male part of your toggles. I think it works pretty well. And it makes for a really interesting looking earring. Now you do have to be careful with the your loop pieces. You want them to be big enough, but not too big. These are just perfect. So there's our earrings. Okay, so there is our earring using the toggle bar from our toggles to make this fun earring. Now remember, these are a little tricky. I made a few mistakes myself while making them. We fixed those though, and there they are. Those are fun, aren't they? Anyway, this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. We've been making these earrings from Bargain Bead Box, Midnight Skies, and I hope you enjoyed making those with me. And have fun with your little toggles. I like finishing a toggle up. I don't like having all these extra bars sitting around when I use the other half. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you later.